Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Church in Ocean Park. Welcome to everybody that's online. Hi, Mom. Okay, yeah, so there we go. Thanks so much for being here. Come on over here, Louise. So, glad that you're here today. Our theme is about climate action. Climate action. And I can't wait to hear our speakers today. Thanks so much for being here. All right. So now, everyone here, take a stretch, please, because I need you to help us sing. So here's how it goes. We're all a family under one sky, family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky, family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky, family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky, family under one sky. We're people. We're people. We're animals. We're animals. We're flowers. We're flowers. And birds in flight. And birds in flight. We're people. We're people. We're animals. We're animals. We're flowers. We're flowers. And birds in flight. And birds in flight. Here we go. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. Okay, now congregation, take your hands out, please. Come on, y'all have to do those two claps at the end, right? So when we say family under one sky, let me hear you clap twice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Clap twice. That was all right. Try it again. 1, 2, 3. Clap twice. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Clap twice. Oh, that was good. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Clap twice. Oh, that was good. Thank you, Louise. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. Oh, do it again. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're oceans. We're oceans. We're rivers. We're rivers. We're streams. We're streams. And babbling brooks. And babbling brooks. We're oceans. We're oceans. We're waterfalls. We're waterfalls. We're streams. We're streams. And babbling brooks. And babbling brooks. Here we go. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're all a family under one sky. Family under one sky. Do it again. We're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're tomatoes. We're tomatoes. And potatoes. And potatoes. And soybeans. And soybeans. And broccoli. And broccoli. We're apples. We're apples. We're peaches. We're peaches. We're oranges. We're oranges. And Concord grapes. And Concord grapes. Here we go. We're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. We're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. Again, we're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. Last time, we're all family under one sky. Family under one sky. Oh, give it up for the Church in Ocean Park Choir. Thanks. Yes, that song's by Ruth Pelham, as a matter of fact. Ruth Pelham.
Let's hear it for the Church in Ocean Park Choir and Dr. Kim and Louise Dobbs. All right. Thank you so much. This is a fantastic morning. We're getting ready to launch right here with that song. about climate action. And we're really happy to have you here this morning. You could be anywhere. We're just really, really lucky that you chose to be here. We want to start by acknowledging that we all have a lot of things on our mind and on our plate and in our heart. And so if you, we want to name those things and hold those things together as community. And there is some communities where you have to leave everything at the door, where you can come in and you only have to have a certain look on your face, you have to act a certain way. We want to let you know that with the ups and downs of your lives, it's all welcome here. It's all a part of the community. We know that however you come in today is not your whole self. It's how you are today, and it's what you're sharing with us today. So what is on your heart today? If you want to name some of those, you don't need to, of course. What is on your heart this morning? Yeah.
Today is the anniversary of my father's death.
Oh, yeah. Bonnie. Wonderful. So Bonnie was sharing two joys about finally dropping off the paperwork and those things. And Gail shared that it is the anniversary of her father's death. I'm going to start passing. I realize that people online can't hear us.
I want to lift up Jerry Rubin, who's going through a hard time right now. His brother is in a nursing home and doesn't have a good prognosis, maybe hospice in the future. So I want to lift up Jerry.
I'm not going to say my friend's name because they're in a very serious situation. They got arrested for threatening their neighbor with a knife, and they got a SWAT team sent to their building to arrest them. And I just hope that he recovers quickly and that they get him into a program to get him off the meth.
What else are you holding in your heart this morning?
Today's the anniversary of Kent State massacre, and also we're remembering Jackson State. And our friends Magpie, Terry of Magpie, she was there that day at Kent State. So she's a Kent State survivor, and they have gone out there for that anniversary as they do every year. So just remembering everyone that's out there.
All right. All right, we holding... Yeah.
I'll just say that I'm holding both grief and joy in overwhelming measures, as I have for the last more than a year and a half.
What else are we holding in our hearts?
Joy for the return of Linda. Linda.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes. Okay, well, we hold all these joys and concerns we bring them to community and we hold them together. And we take a deep breath, let it out. And we want to let you know that you're welcome here. And I think we're just about ready to have a welcome. We want to also let you know that all of us understand that we all come with biases. And so no matter how much anti-bias training you've gone to, we all still carry some. And so we come here with an open heart and try to have an open heart and open mind about what people will be speaking about. And as they share, realize that that's their perspective, and your perspective is just as important as whoever it is that just spoke. So you'll have a moment where you get to speak if you want to, if you're a member of the community. Or not. And then somebody else will too. And so if they speak and they say something, you know that they are just speaking for themselves and not for the whole community. So I welcome up now Trudy Goodwin-Gord.
Got here by the skin of my teeth, man. So good morning, church.
Good morning, Trudy.
Look at y'all. You have no idea how great you look. I got my glasses on, and you guys are beautiful this morning. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm Trudy Goodwin, as Janet said, Trudy Goodwin Gord, and I'm here to welcome you to this very unique interfaith community. I have to catch my breath. That is dedicated to social justice. And you may be wondering if you're welcome in this space. We are interfaith, so you are welcome if you are Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, atheist, or some combination altogether different. We extend a special welcome to those who are single and married, divorced and widowed, and gay and transgender, whether you're filthy rich or living on the edge. We extend a special invitation to those who are caring for crying newborns or just browsing, just woke up, and this is important to the community that I serve, or just got out of jail. We don't care how religious you are. You could be more religious than Papa Frank, or haven't been in church since your nephew's baptism. We extend a special invitation to those who are over 60, but not quite grown up, and to teenagers who are growing up way too fast. We invite soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarians, and my favorite folks, junk food eaters. We invite those who are in recovery or still dependent. We invite you if you're having problems or you're just down in the dumps. We welcome those who like organized religion and those who don't. We offer a special invitation to those who work too hard, don't work, can't spell, or because they are bored with staying at home all day and heard that this is a strange church. We invite those who are ink-pierced or both. We offer a special invitation to those who could use a prayer right now or had religion shoved down their throat as a kid. We invite tourists, seekers, and doubters, and you. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park.
Thank you, Trudy. And I am Reverend Janet Gollery McKisson. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm the minister of this church. And we want to acknowledge that we are currently sitting on stolen land. The land was taken violently from the Chumash, the Quiche, and the Tongva peoples. We acknowledge the harms of genocide, forced assimilation, enslavement, and destruction at the hands of U.S. settler colonialism. We also acknowledge that our country was built on the backs of people who were stolen from Africa, placed into bondage, and forced into labor. We acknowledge that we benefit from that labor that has never been repaid. In our acknowledgement, let us commit ourselves to healing by helping to create a more just and equitable world through the struggle of changing how we do things and how we see the things that we do. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. We're glad that you're here. We begin with the Thich Nhat Hanh chant, I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now, 3 times. So let's take another deep breath. I have arrived. I church in Ocean Park.
Morning, everybody. Hi, I'm Louise. I want to teach you a song. It's actually a chant. It's not much of a song, but there's going to be hand movements with it. So you get to do some things with your body a little bit. But first I'll start just with the song part. It goes, earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. So when we say these things, we're going to go earth. Try that. Earth. Earth. And my body. My body. Earth, my body. Now we're going to go water. Water, my blood. Water, my blood. Air, my breath. Try it again. Air, my breath. And fire, my spirit. Just like, go down your spine there. So let's try it. We'll do it slow at first. Earth, my body. Water, my blood. Air, my breath. And fire, my spirit. It's a little lower. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. All right, thank you.
And now I get the opportunity to introduce my friend Makeda Bullock Floyd. Makeda is the Climate Action Santa Monica program lead. Makeda has explored and loved the environment from many perspectives. Growing up in Santa Monica, she experienced a mix of urban and natural settings and found peace in having both of them in her life. She graduated from Pomona College with a degree in environmental analysis, exploring expansive topics such as environmental education, regenerative agriculture, native and edible plant research, sustainability, environmental justice, green building, ecology, conservation biology, and indigenous land knowledge. That's all she knows about. That's it. She doesn't know too much, but. Makeda was initially drawn to CHASM, Climate Action Santa Monica, by the enthusiasm of one of the organization's advisors, who she encountered at a community garden. Now, as the program lead for Climate Action Santa Monica, she runs the youth program called Climate Core Club, as well as supporting the overall mission and operation of the organization. Whether learning from CHASM's advisors, giving lessons on climate communication and advocacy, tabling at school registration to encourage sustainable communities at school, sharing city resources at farmers markets, or cheering on youth at city council meetings, Makeda is so grateful to be with CHASM. She hopes to be supportive in a strong community of youth leaders and enthusiastic volunteers for quite a while. She wants to watch the community ripple out to Santa Monica and beyond. So we welcome Makeda. Come on up, and then we're going to bring up also Camille with her, and somebody else. Come on up. Come on up and introduce your cohorts.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Janet.
Yes.
All right. I'm Makeda, and so nice to meet you guys. Thank you for having us here. I think we can just go ahead and introduce ourselves. And down the line here, I have some members of our youth club, and then I'll just share a little bit, and then I'll let them share their experience about being in the program. If you just want to say your name.
Okay. Hello, I'm Sari. Hi, I'm Camila.
I'm Vanessa.
Thank you, guys.
You can give them some more mics if you want.
Oh, I think we can probably share, because I'm just going to talk a little bit about Climate Action Santa Monica, and then we can just pass it down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
There's another one available in case you want.
Okay. Sure. All right. So you guys already, I don't really need to do much of an introduction because Janet read my whole bio. So thank you for that. So yeah, I was very fortunate to grow up in Santa Monica and to find out about Climate Action Santa Monica from Chris, who's one of Chasm's advisors. I just walked into the community garden on Main Street, and that's how I met her. And then I ended up getting this job, and now I'm here. So very grateful for that. I have some questions that Janet sent me as kind of overarching inspiration for this, so I'll be referring to those. So about why I do this because I believe in loving, and I've always had a really deep affinity for the natural environment, for nature, for being in those spaces. They've always meant a lot to me, and I really believe that if we can connect to our loving, can connect to that place inside of us and connect to nature, then we can create a lot of change, positive change through that space. I believe in a world that is actively caring and creating positive change, and we're not as a whole like in that world right now, as some of you have probably noticed, but Janet asked me, how do I keep going? I believe that what I'm doing is enough. And that is not something that I always believe. It's not an easy belief to hold. On the daily, I feel the opposite, actually. I feel like I'm not doing enough. And Lauren and I have conversations about this. But I remind myself that it is enough, because if it isn't, what is? Like, we have to keep moving in that direction of positive change. I have a belief that everything can be used for upliftment, learning, and growth, and that it's intended for that. And so I just stay with that and keep moving in the direction that I can. About Trump, the Trump administration, I'm not going to say too much about this, don't worry. So we are very fortunate, I would say, in Santa Monica, and to be a local organization, that we have not been super directly impacted. As Laureen shared at a recent budget meeting, what's going on at the federal level just means that what we're doing at the local level is even more important. So putting energy here. About CHASM, Climate Action Santa Monica. So some of you may or may not be familiar with our work. We work in support of Santa Monica's CAP, which is their Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. And if you notice in the CAP, it's a long document, but two things that really stand out in there are energy and transportation. Those are some of Santa Monica's largest sources of emissions. Building energy use represents about 30% of the emissions, and transportation is about 60%. So together, that is most of the emissions. So we focus a lot of our energy there, no pun intended. And we have an energy working group that's full of experts. We have a lot of advisors. One of our advisors is here. And we also work on helping large energy users make a switch. That's something we want to put more effort into, because although Santa Monica has an amazing policy that passed where residents are automatically opted into the Clean Power Alliance, which is amazing, has made a huge impact. 4% about have opted out, and those are some of the largest energy users that have opted out, which we don't know exactly like what companies or organizations those are specifically, but hospitals, schools, grocery stores, places like that have opted out. And now our youth club, which is the Climate Corps, we've had a youth program since 2016, and it started as a summer program, and it has evolved. This year in February, we started a new model, which is the club, which is year-round, so we can have a continual impact throughout the year, and it's ages 15 to 21. The club chooses a project that we want to work on. We advocate at city council meetings, speaking at city council meetings, at farmers markets. We provide resources, information. The city has a lot of information, a lot of resources to help you be more sustainable. Everything from upgrading to solar, to getting heat pumps, to even simple things like waste management. You can have an event and get bins and get all of that sorted. There are a lot of resources about that that we share at our farmers markets, and we have some of those on our website. And the club's current focus right now is climate literacy. We meet once a month right next door at the 237 building. We're so grateful for that space. It's been a really wonderful space to use. And now I'm just gonna pass it to my friends here to share just a little bit about their experience.
Hello, I'm Sari, as mentioned earlier. Hello. And I joined in February, like Makeda said, when the program started, and I'd found it online. I joined it because I, as like many other people, and I think youth especially, are very passionate about our environment and are very passionate about the climate crisis, but that passion oftentimes goes unused because it feels like such a big problem to tackle. How do you even approach that? And like what Makeda was saying, focusing on the local level is really important and super impactful. So I feel really grateful for the club because I feel like I'm able to take that passion and actually make action off of that and speak at like city council meetings and go to like different events that we have like this and just be able to share and make an impact in Santa Monica. So yeah.
So I'm Camila again. Hello. I joined in March. Hi. I joined in March of this year, and I joined through a mutual friend who said they were interested in getting more high schoolers in the program. So I came out and I really liked the club. I liked what everything stood for. And I think as previous people have mentioned, I feel like the youth really are the future. And I think we have the opportunity to really do something, especially as high schoolers, because we're so close to like being in the real world and like really making the impact, whether that's a good or bad impact. So I really like this because, you know, I'm interested in the environment and it's really helped me make a stronger connection and really like do something about it. So that's why I think this is a really important club and opportunity to learn and grow and help your community.
I'm Vanessa, and I also joined when the club started in like February. And I feel like sometimes it's easy to get like overwhelmed by like how much is going on in the world, especially related to the environment, because so much of like the emissions that are being put out are like on a level that we can't necessarily change. But I feel like having this club is like a way to sort of like make that change individually. And I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, like nothing's gonna change, like, and feel hopeless. But that's also not helpful. And like actually having an outlook to express those feelings or like try to actually help and make a change, I think is really helpful for me. And yeah, it's been super fun so far being able to connect more with the Santa Monica community.
Thank you guys, that was beautiful. All right, so thank you so much for having us, for letting us share a little bit about our program. We're so grateful to be in this space, in this beautiful space with you guys today. That singing was really fun. I enjoyed that. I love singing. And again, we're so grateful to be able to use that space next door. It's just such a like really anchoring place to be working out of, especially since Chasm had some of its roots here. So thank you for that. If you are interested in how you can support us, how you can get involved, we have a newsletter where we share events, city resources, updates, and also sometimes music. I put together that newsletter, so it's really fun. You should definitely sign up. And we also have volunteer opportunities. We're starting monthly meetups as a way to build community and also spotlight local businesses in Santa Monica. There's a lot of local businesses that are doing really great things using sustainable materials. Their whole business design is sustainable in some cases. We're having an event on May 24th, the Zero Waste event at Sun Moon Rain, which is a local refill shop for body care products and household goods. And so we'll be putting out more information about that soon. And lots of other opportunities. If anything we shared about interests you and you want to get involved, don't hesitate to reach out. We're also having tomorrow, if any of you are available, we're having a lunch, a Chasm lunch at 12:30 at Uppers Cafe and Bake Shop. That's on Broadway and 20th. So we would love to see you there. You can just show up, find us probably outside in the back for that lunch and just share your ideas, your thoughts. It's really just a community building an open space for us to share as a Chasm community. So I have a QR code which we can pass around if you want. This has all of our links. Is that okay to pass it around? Okay, and if you are not on QR codes, because I know not everybody is into that, I have some homemade cards. I only have a few of these, so share or take. But if anybody needs them, I have these as well. That has my email address, so you can reach out. Does anybody want one of the cards? Okay. If any of you have the ability to take a picture, that would be great, so we can share these. I'll come back here, share them. And if you can't take a picture or get one, I can also give you my email address. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
Say, Louise, come up here and help me sing. Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch. Singly none, singly none. And by union, what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill. Singly none, singly none. Step by step, the longest march can be won,
can be one. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none, singly none, singly none.
All right, now I invite the Chasm folks to come back up and sit up here, and this is our community sharing time. And so this is a chance when you have an opportunity to make a statement, a brief statement, or to ask them a question. And so they'll have to decide who answers it, or they all do. Yes.
You know, it's so refreshing to see youth engaged in a battle that's so possessed by forces beyond us. I was looking yesterday at an interview in which people in West Virginia had contracted black lung disease, and the news item was that Trump had discontinued funding for the research of black lung disease. And I'm wondering specifically not just about the men that are affected, because these are men that voted for him, but the children, your ages, are affected by, you know, looking at the opportunity of living in a community where the only job exists is toxic. There's nothing beneficial, at least from what I can see, about coal. If it goes into the air, it pollutes. So I'm wondering specifically if you are in any way looking at communicating with those youth in West Virginia that are affected by communities that have dozens, if not hundreds, of coal mines that affect, you know, poisonous people and traumatize lives in that. Because if you are engaged in this now, obviously you have the knowledge, you know, to spread to those that are done that. Has that, you know, more or less crossed your concept in mind?
Thank you for that question. That's not an issue that I'm familiar with. And we have focused mostly locally, but just hearing you talk and hearing you share about that, it makes me think that something we could look into would be issues that are affecting youth around the nation. I mean, globally for sure, but because we do have somewhat of a more local focus, maybe just starting with in this country and really emphasizing and educating around issues that are particularly like having environmental impacts on youth. So I think that's something that we could explore. Anybody have anything to add?
I think one of our main focuses is climate literacy also, which is just spreading awareness in all the different ways.
Oh, closer.
Oh, sorry. All the different ways that the climate does affect us and our bodies. Because as you said, there's so many ways that, there's so many different things that affect us. So I think while we are focused more on the Santa Monica community, I think climate literacy is something that you learn and you take with you everywhere. That hopefully even if people leave Santa Monica, they can teach others about what they've learned.
Okay. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing what you all are doing. I have a question that's, well, a comment and then a question that's not so locally oriented, but we have a book group here, and we're reading a book called On Freedom by Timothy Snyder, and one of the topics in his book is sustainability. And I learned one thing that just I find terribly appalling that I hadn't known before, which is that AI, artificial intelligence, is using tremendous amounts of electricity that our computers in general use, the Facebook and use a lot of electricity, but that AI uses 10 times as much as other kinds of computing. And it just seems to be hard to stop in this world. But he advocates strongly for fusion, nuclear fusion. He believes is the only possible way that the world could produce enough clean energy to avoid, catastrophic climate change. And I don't know enough to assess it. I don't feel as if I know enough to assess his arguments and so forth, but I wonder if anyone, either any of you in your reading, or I know we have other members of CHASM here, if anyone has a view of fusion, like what the latest thinking on that topic is, or...
I think all talk of nuclear fusion and nuclear energy should be put to a halt till they know what to do with the waste. The waste is just dumped into the ocean, and talk about catastrophic problems. You can't, we continue to have nuclear leaks. We haven't had we don't have the intelligence to deal with the waste yet. So once we can deal with the waste and the aftermath, what happens in the constant problems that we have in running the machinery and things breaking down and all that, I don't think we can even begin to think about nuclear, because that is the ultimate catastrophic environmental disaster, is nuclear, and we haven't dealt with the waste yet.
Yeah, well, I do have a couple local questions for you, but just quick responding to the nuclear, it's long, all the anti-nuclear groups oppose nuclear fission because there's problems with the waste, with the mining, the milling, the processing of the uranium, and all those things as well. Nuclear fusion is way in the future, and so we don't oppose the research, but I'd still stick with the promotion of clean, renewable energy and energy efficiency. My questions to you, wonderful people locally here, are, I'm on the Urban Forest Task Force. How do the caring and planting of more trees fit into your climate change endeavors? And also for alternative transportation. I've never had a car. I always take the blue bus here, and I'm just wondering, are you conscious of alternative transportation, promoting the blue bus or the bikes or other walking or things like that? And are you aware of the endeavor now that's promoting a great park when the Santa Monica Airport closes at the end of 2028, a great opportunity to have all sorts of community gardens and environmental things? So that's it.
Anybody want to tackle any of that?
I can, but I'm just, you want to, okay. Okay. Okay, so transportation, planting trees, and Great Park. I'll start with transportation. That's definitely a big part of our focus, and it honestly has been something that's been really challenging. I was just talking with Laureen the other day about this, and we were talking about transportation because for those of us who are into taking other transportations than driving, it just kind of gets into our routine. My dad, when I was growing up, did not let me drive pretty much unless it was like I needed to drive to get where I was going. He was like, you can take the bus, you can walk, you can bike. So like that just kind of was ingrained in my routine, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think there's so many benefits. So what I'm hoping that we can do is really focus on those co-benefits as we share that with people, because there are so many. Walking, there's so many health benefits, there's benefits to biking, all of that. I mean, you guys probably know, but emphasizing that it can be a good start to your day, and for school commutes, for example, it can be that there's lots, I'm not an expert on the science of this, but I know that there's a lot of benefits for your brain and benefits for starting your day that way that can really help set you up. So in addition to it being good for the environment, there's health benefits. You can learn a lot about responsibility by taking the bus, by taking the train. I came across an article recently where a student was talking about his experience taking a long train ride and getting to school. So it's not always easy, it's not always practical, but it definitely has a lot of multi-layered benefits. So I hope we can emphasize that. And also the adventures that you can go on. In Portland, they have something called Portland Walks, where they have these arrows. It's really fun. If you ever visit Portland, definitely check out their Portland Walks. There are arrows on the sidewalk that will show you where you can go and take you down all these different paths. Something like that. I don't know about bringing that to Santa Monica. That might be a big project, but that kind of idea of turning something from just like it takes longer and is less convenient into it's actively fun and engaging, and it in itself is its own experience. So that is one opportunity that I see with taking other modes of transportation than driving. The other questions, what were they? They were trees. The Great Park, yes, we do know about the Great Park. I'm very excited about the Great Park. And I think that that's really important and a really big opportunity. That there isn't anything. I was just talking to Michael Brodsky who yesterday about this, and he was saying, we were both saying, like, there's nothing like that. There's nothing else like that right now that's happening. So I think I would definitely support the Great Park, and would definitely support other urban greening efforts.
I can add two things. One thing on transportation, I know I go to Santa Monica High School, and all the students in the SMM-USD get free TAP cards. So it really encourages students to use the bus and public transportation. So that's something that's really helpful. And I also think with the Great Park, I think a lot of advocacy is needed, because at one point, the number one thing they wanted to add was a golf course to the park. So yeah, because that's what people were voting for. So I think that's changed now, but I think it's really important that we, be loud about what we want, because the park is such a big opportunity to have so many things, and we do not need another golf course. So yeah, I think we have to be loud about what we want.
I can add on a little bit to transportation. I think advocating for transportation is really important, and especially in just America in general, since the 1920s, when roadway infrastructure was getting billions of dollars. Now, taking anything but a car feels so inconvenient, because our world, the way our society functions around driving and roadways, which is why it's especially important to try to I'm not thinking of the right word, but turn our direction towards using more sustainable transportation and kind of like trying to restructure our society in a sense to allow for like greener transportation and just a chance to walk and bike more to the places you need to go. Because a car is just for so many people a necessity to actually be a functioning member in society, when I don't think that should be the case. Because the only reason so many people learn how to drive isn't really because they want to, but because they have to get where they need to go. So yeah.
Thank you.
This has been lovely. And I've been out of town, so this is my first time back for a few weeks. And I didn't actually expect to see a fellow stagehand here giving this talk. I went to Pomona College too, but that's the reference. But just gives me some idea of how things have changed since the class of 1967. But anyway, I want to sort of pick up on the last comment, because I think that's, I mean, I'm a communist. The people here know that. And I wasn't when I was at Pomona, but very shortly thereafter. And what that talks about is society structured in such a way that you need a car to get to work, and going to work is not optional, right? Because the necessities of life have price tags. And how we look at how capitalism is structured for profit and to destroy, like, really at the expense of the economy, the natural environment in which we live. And I think we're in the very, very crucial times, just in a macro way, right? So the question to me is really not, I mean, I want to say two things. One is this thing of the question of doing enough. It's something that one, as an activist, deals with every day, right? And it's both true that you can never do enough and that what you can do has to be enough. And that's just true. And I've been an activist for more than 50 years. And the only way to sustain that is to understand that contradiction and to live right in it. And that if you don't sustain yourself, then you can't do anything. And you have to take care of yourself. As my comrade knows, but I want to say, I have a question. How do you relate as an activist, and I mean that to all of you, and the local to the macro, to the overall system, and how do you walk that contradiction?
Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, one way that I relate to the relationship between the local and the bigger picture, this is something that I talked to Laureen about when I first came on to staff with CHASM. Santa Monica is in this really unique position of being kind of a leader, both for LA and in the state, and just kind of there's a ripple effect, and like Santa Monica passes a lot of climate policies kind of ahead of the curve. Santa Monica is ahead of the curve in a lot of ways. So in that way, there is kind of a ripple effect of like, if we do things really well here. And then there's also this effort of building more regional support, which is something that we have talked about and haven't yet created, I don't think, in like a very strong and consistent way. And it's something that I think we can definitely do a lot more with, because there's like Santa Monica kind of gets in this bubble. It's like Santa Monica and there's LA like all around it. And I think there's so many other groups and there's so many other youth groups. So I think that for us, the next step is to connect more with that and kind of like building those networks. I know there's more to that question, but that's what I have so far because, that's what I have so far.
Okay, Jean, and then we'll go to the other side.
I'm just so excited to see you all in this position, Makeda, and your club. Just for your information, so you'll see how lucky you are. When I graduated from UCLA in biology in 1968, the word ecology didn't even exist yet. It wasn't in use. And I was a biology major. There was an opportunity for me to go up on the roof and watch animals and take notes. And so I went to the head of the department and I said, I want to do this. I want to do something about, making sure that the environment is healthy for animals and for people. They said, you know what? We're just focusing on cancer and DNA right now. So that's where you need to go. And I did that for 4 years and I just couldn't sustain it because it meant killing animals for experimentation a lot. Anyway, so what I wanted to say was I ended up being a biology teacher, and one of my favorite things was helping kids, assigning them to figure out their family's carbon footprint. And so they measured how much water their families used. They estimated how many people took a bath that day, how many people washed dishes, et cetera, in there. And it was one of my most favorite things. Do you do anything with young people, really young people, little people?
So we have in the past. That was before I joined, but I know that there was briefly a Climate Corps Junior effort there, and with climate literacy as a focus, this is actually what we were just talking about in our club meeting, where we're going to start reaching out to some elementary school teachers to see if we can talk to them there. Mm-hmm.
One last thing, very like one sentence. I just found something in a magazine where I live in Lomita about walks in LA. So there's an architecture walk. It's an Art Deco walk, and it's self-guided. And there are other ones that are led. So you can look on LAist, which is the NPR station, and find other ones that you're interested in, and go walking in LA. Yeah.
And actually, there's the Santa Monica Conservancy has walks, in historical walks. You can see where different movies were made in Santa Monica and things like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to make an observation about the climate crisis. It's been going on for a lot longer than we've been thinking. It's been going on ever since humanity has left Africa. If you look at the planet, the only places on Earth that have megafauna left are Africa, is because it's the longest place on Earth that Earth has been able to get used to humans being on the planet.
I just want to pick up on the transportation. There is an app, Transit, that you can download on your phone, and it tells you the blue bus, trains, and the metro buses, all the schedules, and you push it in, and it'll tell you what time the bus leaves at your stop. And it gives you 3 or 4 other times, and also all the times along the route. And it'll also automatically, if you push go, it'll tell you, keep giving you updates. And because I know sometimes a bus gets canceled, and the phone will tell you the next bus is coming at 8:35, or the train is leaving when it's leaving, and how much time it actually tells me when to leave my apartment to catch that particular ride.
Yeah, I recently came aware of a new this goes to Linda's macro question, economic model called donut economics. Have you heard of that? I'm just now, there's a book But it's really about putting, instead of putting profit and consumerism as the measure for societal success, is looking at how well are our human needs being met, and that being the central driver. Anyway, I wanted to recommend that. I didn't know if you knew anything about it and if you could help me understand it better, because I am not an economist by any stretch of the imagination. But I found it fascinating, and it really spoke to me.
No, I haven't heard of it. Donut economics. Okay.
All right. Well, I just want to let you know that the church in Ocean Park, if you're fighting for something, or you're letting City Council know about something that you're passionate about and you want more support, if you just let us know. Some of us go to City Council on a regular basis, or we could go there. And also the Santa Monica School Board. So if there are things that you are looking at, like trying to do something a little bit better, let us know. But we want to thank you so much for this time. And yeah.
Thank you guys.
And, thank you so much, and for all that you're doing. We really, really appreciate it. And I'm inspired. I think with this, I can speak for a lot of folks here that we're inspired by what you're doing, and the fact that you're not giving up. You know, we're not giving up either, so we're with you on that. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you so much.
We're going to have a moment of silence, and then there'll be a broken with a song. Well, we lift up all those that are spoken and those that are still in our hearts as well.
And
Anybody online want to have a joy or a concern? I neglected that. I don't think anybody has their hand up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so here's one. Now, you'll need your hands for this, okay? All right. It goes like this. Now, first of all, you have to be cool. All right, so be cool, y'all. It goes like this. It really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. So separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal, and then you get to use it all another day. Here we go. It really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. So separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal, and then you get to use it all another day. Now repeat after me. Paper.
Paper.
Plastic.
Plastic.
Compost.
Compost.
Glass.
Glass.
Metal.
Metal.
Recycle. Oh, yeah. All right. So one more time. Here we go. It really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. So separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal, and then you get to use it all another day. And then you get to use it all another day.
All right. All right. Now we're ready to say carry on. When I count to 3, lift your arms. 1, 2, 3. Carry on!
So thanks. Thanks, everybody online. Thanks, Mom. Thanks. Good to see you, Abby and Judy and Edward, Sarabanda, and Sandra. Thanks for joining us online today.